Well, hello, family. I didn't see you there. Welcome to another episode of Crenshaw Corner. I am Sanchez Crenshaw, and I am joined by the most wonderfulest woman I know, my wonderful wife.
What's going on? First of all,
come on, man. This is
sorry,
just an introduction. What is going on?
I'm so sorry.
We do the same introduction every time.
What up, guys? This is Angela Crenshaw. What is going on, people? What is going on? I am so sorry.
See, this is what happens when you don't work with professionals. This is what happens.
Okay, we'll do better.
We do the same introduction every time.
Hey guys, what's up? I don't know. I'm sorry. I looked at you with the headsets and it threw me off. I'm so sorry.
This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, no, I'm serious now. Go for it. Okay, I'm serious.
I'm going to replace you.
Okay, well, you
know.
With who?
I'm going to find another Crenshaw.
Listen.
Going to get replaced.
Whatever, dude. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, family, once again, welcome to another episode of the Crenshaw Corner. We thank you for joining us. As you can see, it is already off the rails. I really don't know what type of direction this particular episode is going to go in, but we're going to continue to move forward.
Yes, move forward. I feel good about it.
You feel good about it?
Hey, yeah, go for it. Go. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Well, guys, for our first-time listeners, and we want to thank you for joining us along this journey. We are an interactive podcast, and what that means is that there are several ways to get in contact with us. We have an Instagram page. Tell them the Instagram page.
What?
Tell them the Instagram page, man.
I'm so sorry. The Instagram page is the Crenshaw Corner.
Crenshaw Corner.
On Instagram. Facebook is the Crenshaw Corner.
Crenshaw Corner.
Yeah.
And we have an email address. Tell me the email address.
Do. The Crenshaw Corner.
There you go.
At gmail.com.
There you go.
I feel like you tried to put me on the spot, though.
I did. I really did.
You don't think I know this information?
I didn't know if you knew it or not.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you. Okay, go ahead.
We're also on Twitter at the Crenshaw Corner. We tweet.
Yeah.
So there are more than enough ways to reach out to us.
Or run away from us.
We would love to hear from you guys.
We would.
That's why we consider ourselves an interactive podcast. This is not just us airing our dirty laundry to the world. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, your thoughts, any topics you may want us to touch on, any clarification on something we might have said on a previous podcast.
Yeah.
We would just love to hear from you.
And also, guys, when you email us as well, let us know if it's okay just to use your first name. So those times because there's a lot of questions that's been on our emails, correct?
Yes.
And we do want to answer them, and we do want to even say your first name. So even when you email us, be like, hey, it's okay to say my first name, because we just want to give it's not really a shout out, but to acknowledge you and also acknowledge your question and make sure that we're answering it at an appropriate time. So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, right?
That works.
See, I calmed down. I'm sorry. I was crying and laughing. I
don't know if you're ready.
I think I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I promise.
Right.
Yes.
So we're moving forward. Onward and upward.
Onward and upward.
There you go.
All
right. So if you guys tuned in to our midweek moment with the Crenshaws, we kind of did just a little bit of a sneak peek preview. We talked about the fact that what we're going to start doing is that we're actually going to do a series.
Are we going to call it a series, though?
It's a series. We're going to call it a series.
You want to call it that?
I just called it that.
Okay. Is that really what we want to call it?
It was just called that.
Okay.
It's on tape right now. It was just called the series.
Yo.
So I don't really know what you want from me at this point.
Did you put something in my water? Because I'm drinking alkaline water. So did you sip something there while I was in the room? Because I can't stop laughing at you right now.
I don't know what's your problem.
Okay,
is.
go ahead.
All I'm saying is I said to the family that we're starting a series.
Okay.
And then you ask me right after I say to the family, we're starting a series. Are we starting a series? Yes, we starting a series.
First of all, don't do that because I don't talk like that.
Yes, I don't talk like that. Yes, you do.
Oh, you better. Let's get on to topics.
So
let's do it.
So once again, family, we are starting a series. It's going to be a seven segment series,
7 episodes,
7 episode series.
Yeah.
And it's actually going to be on self-care. So this particular episode is going to be more of an introduction of self-care, talking about self-care as in a whole. I'm talking about self-care in more general terms. The concept of self-care, what is self-care, what does self-care look like, get into the fact that when we talk about self-care, because I know a lot of the times when you hear the word self-care, you think more of the feminine side of it. You think more of a woman taking care of herself, but we're going to crack that stigma. It's not just a woman thing for self-care.
And it's just not getting your hair done and going to the spa either. Because
Right.
I think when you hear self-care, people are like, girl, I do my self-care, girl. I get in that tub, I put a candle, I run me a bath, or I go to the spa, like different things. And some of that is self-care.
Right.
But we're going to go much deeper.
We're going to pull back some layers.
Yeah, we're going to go much deeper than that.
We're going to pull back some layers.
We are.
And so, like I said, this particular episode is going to be more of a general term, more of an overall view of self-care. We'll get into the definition of self-care. We'll get into really what self-care is. In all honesty, you're going to hear more from Mrs. Crenshaw than you are from me, because she's more of an expert on this particular topic.
Don't even try it.
And then in going forward in episodes, and then we're going to actually tackle, because
each one
there's
separately.
6.
There's several, but we have 6 that we're going to use, and the 7th one is one that we added.
Yeah, so there's 6 main focal points to when you talk about self-care. So we're going to do 6 episodes dedicated to each topic, or dedicated to each focal point.
Yeah.
And then the final episode is going to be kind of our viewpoint on that 7th focal point for self-care.
Yeah, that we believe that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, that we believe needs to be talked about.
Spoke, what? The what?
Spoke.
Talk.
One of them.
Well, it's something. It's something.
Yeah,
it's
we
something.
speak English. We really do.
Yeah, every time, man. Every time we get up here, we can't speak.
It's you, man.
Okay.
You be throwing me off because you
Okay.
be doing stuff. Sitting there looking like your mama. You be doing stuff.
Everybody say I look like my mom.
Because
That's
you really
crazy.
do. You really do look like mama.
Hey, Mom.
You act like her sometimes too.
Ooh.
I love
Was
you,
that
mommy.
shady?
It wasn't shady.
I hope she hear that.
I'm just
because
saying.
I hope she hears it, because that's shade.
I love you, mommy.
Don't try to love her now.
Silverman. Silverman. I love
Don't
you,
try to
Silverman.
love Silver May now. Oh,
I'm
you in
just
trouble,
saying.
bruh. You in
All right.
trouble. But go ahead.
No, actually, no. I'm gonna turn it over to you because once again, you are the expert in this field. So
I don't know if I'm an expert, but
you're an expert. You're more of an expert than I am.
well, okay.
So let's start with.
I like to learn.
Yeah, you are a learner. I'm a learner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to learn.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk. So let's start with. So Angela, what is self-care?
Angela, what is self-care?
That is your name.
It is, but it's so weird.
It's on
when
your
you say
birth
it.
certificate.
You so weird when you say it like that,
I
Angela.
call you Angela all the time.
But that kind of. Did you hear how you said my name?
I said Angela.
All you did was like Angela. Like, what was that?
Can you talk to the family?
Yes, I
please?
can. Hey guys. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening tonight, but we just gonna keep rolling. We're not even gonna stop it. We just gonna see what happens. Okay, so here's the thing. Since we're talking about self-care, I want to be transparent. Out of these 7 that we're gonna give you guys, I think I do very well at maybe 4 of them. So don't judge. But self-care is basically just that, taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically. It's just not going to the spa. It's just not taking a good bath. That's part of it, but that's not all that it is. And so what we want to talk about is doing
Did you say taking a good bath?
taking a good bath.
Like bathing?
Yeah.
So you saying family don't bathe? I'm confused.
Huh?
It's the way you said it.
No,
You said it like the family don't bathe.
No, what I'm saying is it's not just I'm saying it's not just taking a good bath though. Like, not taking just a good bath or going to the spa and getting a massage or getting your hands and feet done. It's so much deeper than that. And I was so excited when we decided to do this so we could talk about it. And we're gonna talk a little bit about each one.
We didn't decide to do it. You told me we were doing it.
Oh wow.
Just letting them behind the curtain a little bit.
Wow. Well, close the curtain.
Continue.
Really? Do you really want me to continue?
Please continue.
Whatever. So anyway, so I was so excited about it because I learned about it. I read about it and I'm like, wow. And I checked my own self. So this is kind of like a check and balance for you guys as well. So what I first want to do.
Well, actually, before you
Wait.
continue,
Yeah.
kind of a quick definition of self-care.
Oh, so you didn't like the wait,
I'm just
hold
saying.
it. First of all, you said you're gonna hear from Miss Crenshaw, and then here you go. So evidently you didn't like my definition of self-care.
I'm just saying.
So are you doing the Webster version?
I'm doing the Google version.
Go ahead, Google. Go ahead,
So,
carry.
Self-care is any activity that we do deliberately in order to take care of our mental, emotional, and physical health. So that is self-care. Once again, self-care is the activity that we do deliberately, and that's the key word, deliberately, in order to take care of our mental, emotional, and physical health.
I just said that.
Continue, Angela.
Say my name like that one more time. And see
I
what
like the way I said it.
I just said that.
I like the way I said it.
Ugh. Okay. Anyway, so here we go. So let's talk about. Okay. So before I even do that, Cynthia, do you have any self-care regimens?
My self-care regimen.
You better act like not go here act like you don't, because I will tell it on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my self-care regimen is putting my AirPods in and tuning you out. That's my self-care.
That's not self-care.
That's not.
No.
That's self-preservation.
You want to tell them about your 10 to 15 minute facial every morning?
I'm sorry.
I'm just asking if you want to talk about it.
I really don't know what you're referring to. Sorry, I don't know what you speak of. I don't know what you speak of.
Before we get started, let me just say this. When we go somewhere, I had to ask Sanchez to get in the bathroom before me. He has this hair face regiment that he does.
I don't know what you speak of.
Beard regiment that he does. So by the time, we won't get anywhere on time. So I have to let him go first. So I'm just asking, is that self-care for you, or what is that?
I clean my face. I take a shower. Mm-hmm. I brush my teeth. I don't understand what the problem is.
So,
don't all normal people wash their face,
Sanchez,
clean their face?
Are you serious?
Take a shower, brush their teeth.
Are you serious right now?
That's what I do.
Okay, number one, you wash your hair every day.
I don't wash my hair every day. I wet my hair every day. I don't wash my hair every day. There's a difference.
Okay, how many days out the week do you wash your hair?
I only wash my hair like 2 or 3 times a week. It's only like 2 or 3 times.
It's not. But if you say so, okay.
You're not in the shower with me, man.
I'm just saying, if you say so. And so tell me, what do you do for your face? So since you just wash your face, what's your self-care wash your face regimen,
Well, I cleanse my face.
Okay, so let's talk about how many steps does it take?
What do you mean? How many steps
How many steps does it take to clean your face?
It's like 3 steps, man.
Okay, so tell me. That's what I'm asking. I'm interested. What are the 3 steps?
It's simple. I wet my face.
Wet it.
Because I'm in the shower. Mm-hmm. I wet my face.
Right.
I typically use a cleansing cream.
Mm-hmm.
I take that. I scrub it in. Mm-hmm. I rinse it off.
Right.
I typically do a second cleanser cream.
Mm-hmm.
Let it sit for a second.
Right.
Rinse it off. Mm-hmm. Finish my shower. It's not that complicated.
Okay, so when you rinse it off, then what do you do after you rinse it? Do you not moisturize?
My face?
Yeah.
No, I don't moisturize my. Now you just making up stuff.
No, you put coconut oil on your face. That's like a moisturizer, babe.
That's after the shower, though.
That's what I said. After you rinse it off.
I put coconut oil.
Do you moisturize? So then, what's your regimen?
It's not moisturizing,
It's
man.
moisturizing, bro.
Bruh,
it's moisturizing. Okay, so let's talk about your regimen for your beard at that point. Let's talk about that wonderful beard that we have over there.
How do we get on my regimen?
I'm just asking because we talk about self-care. So I am so interested, and I know the family is interested in your self-care regimens as much as I am. So let's talk about your beard regimen. If you've never seen Sanchez before, his beard is long. So tell us about the beard regimen.
It's not that. First of all, it's not that long. It's not a regimen.
Honey.
All I do, once again, because I've cleansed my face,
right?
Then I have beard oil that I massage into my beard. Mm-hmm. I'll brush it, and then I have a comb that I use to comb it out.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I don't understand. See, you're laughing.
It's amazing.
See, you're laughing.
I'm just like, yo, to see it happen in family, you have to see this self-care regimen for yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Family, it's not that complicated.
Okay.
Family, don't let her fool you. It is not that complicated of a regimen. It's really not.
Okay. And so then what do you do with your hair? Because after you wash it, do you moisturize and what do you do with the hair?
I mean, what everyone does with their hair.
I'm asking. I'm not with everyone right now. I'm with you. So what do you do with your hair, babe?
I wash my hair. I'll condition my hair.
Right.
And then when I get out, I'll use like a castor oil cream or I have a coconut oil that I use. It just depends on what I feel like that day. There's a couple of different
get it real curly
oils that I have. And I put that on and I move about my business. I move about the earth.
Yeah. And then your natural curls just pop.
I mean, it ain't my fault I got natural curly hair, man. What do you want from me, man? It's not my fault I got naturally curly hair.
I just wanted to, because I don't want people to think it's just women. I just wanted them to hear some of your regimens as a man. Family is anything. Okay, if anybody feel that this is anything wrong with that, Facebook.
No, man. I'm
Facebook,
not
Instagram.
First of all,
Yeah.
What I'm not saying is anything wrong with a man or men taking care of their skin, taking care of their hair. I am not saying at all.
Okay.
We should.
Right, and I'm just
your
showing.
Your total body is covered in skin.
And I'm trying to let the whole family hear it.
But nah, dog. It's the condescending tone
I'm
you
not
had
being
when you said it, dog.
condescending. I'm asking real questions.
Nah, dog. It's the condescending way you
I'm
said
not
it. When
condescending.
You said it. I didn't like. See, we've been talking about tone all day.
See,
like
I'm just so impressed. I literally am impressed with you when you do your regimens. I think it's amazing. And then you coconut oil your arms and your body. You know, it's really good.
I'm telling you,
it's good.
I sense tone. I've been sensing tone all day. We've been talking about tone.
I'm excited to do this, and I just wanted the family to hear what you do. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever,
so let's get into it. Okay.
Yeah, get into it. It's supposed to be about you, not me. Get into it.
Okay, so listen. So there's 6 that we chose and 1 that we added, right? So so let's talk about the first one is talking about physical self-care, which was kind of like leading me into it. That's why I asked you that question.
Right.
So that's about taking care of your body. That's about activities being physical, right? Yoga. That's
now you get them just kind of the general, right?
Walking.
Because each week we're gonna break down.
Yeah, I'm only giving general. That's all I'm doing.
Gotcha.
So I just want everybody. So get a pen. Get a pen and paper, people. Get a pen and paper.
This is school.
This is school.
You can pause us. Pause the podcast. Get you a pen and then come back to us.
Let's play the pause music.
Ain't no pause.
Is that like the Jeopardy? Though?
What is you doing?
I was giving a pause music.
But we literally don't have to pause. We can continue.
I was giving the pause music.
No, the whole point of pausing is it stops. If you do that one more time.
Okay, I was giving the music. Okay.
I'm gonna call people.
So I'm so happy you got a pen and pencil.
And I'm gonna get some money for you.
I'm sorry. You got pen and paper. Pen and pencil. Did you hear me say pen and pencil?
How?
They didn't even correct me.
Man, look.
You got get pen and paper.
You
I
drunk
am
tonight.
so ready.
You drunk tonight.
I'm something. So the first thing is physical self-care. And again, that's like taking care of your body, activity, walking, jogging, yoga, bodybuilding. So that's the first one.
I hate yoga.
Okay. Really?
I hate yoga.
Are you done?
I'm just saying. I hate
yoga.
You
only took 1 class with me.
I've done yoga multiple times.
Okay, no, but you did it with, what's his name? P90X. Is that it?
It's P90X.
P90X. And who does P90X yoga? First of all, he's evil.
I hate Tony.
What's his name?
Tony.
Tony
Horton.
Tony evil even in yoga. Do anybody remember P90X though for real?
Yeah, we ordered that, people.
Yo.
Yeah,
we should do it again.
Nah, he made me cry.
He made our daughter cry.
Yeah, he made my daughter quit exercise.
Yeah, she quit exercise.
She never exercised again in her life.
She had a cookie. She said never get them done.
Love you, Turtle.
We love you, Turtle. She said forget the whole thing. Okay, no, okay. So, but
I hate Pilates too.
Okay, baby.
I do. I just do. I hate it.
Pilates is good. Okay, no, you did yoga with me. You took 1 class with me, yoga.
Pilates is the evil cousin of yoga.
I think Pilates is much better than yoga.
Nah, I hate it.
Oh my god.
But I'm sorry, continue. So physical.
Okay, so the next one is emotional self-care.
Emotional self-care.
And that's where you're meditating, you're being mindful of what you do, you take care of yourself.
Mindful meditation.
Mindful meditation.
Refer back to the midweek moment for that one.
Midweek moment. Look at you talking about refer back to. Come on now. And matter of fact, if this is your first time listening to us, please go back and listen to the other ones. Please listen to them all, and you'll realize why we are the way we are right now. I'll say that much. So that's that. So that's emotional self-care. Again, just your emotions and taking care of your thoughts and stuff like that. So that's that one. Then there's spiritual self-care, which is prayer. Again, meditation is added into that. No, we're not doing that, baby. Whatever, dude. Believing that something is bigger than you. A belief that something is bigger than you. And you just have that. Okay, let me backtrack. Spiritual self-care is so good. Emotional self-care is so good. So is physical self-care is so good. But spiritual, for me, is my favorite. And of course, people know because it's you praying, you're spending time with God. You are sitting, be still, know that I am God. You are listening. So that's really, really good. So spiritual self-care is amazing. Intellectual self-care. Now, this one was kind of new for me, to be honest, babe. Were you familiar with intellectual self-care?
I'm not even sure what you mean by intellectual self-care.
Okay. Intellectual self-care is taking care of your brain. Like reading books.
You mean like doing puzzles?
Word search, puzzles.
Okay.
And with intellectual self-care, intelligent podcasts, financial podcasts, the Crenshaw Corner podcast. I don't know how intellectual, but just like anything that's going to stir your brain, and we can go more into that later.
Yeah, we will.
And we're going to even tell you about some great books to read too. So
got some book suggestions.
But also too, when they talk about, I understand that we have our phone, and I know we have the Kindle and the Fire, because I have all of them, so I understand that.
But get a real book,
But
people.
they're talking about turning real pages.
Get a real book, turn a real page, people.
Yeah.
Feel the paper in your hands.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do, too, when I go back to spiritual self-care? I think I'm going to start going back to carrying my Bible. Don't judge me, people, but I don't carry my Bible, the tangible Bible, because...
You ain't a real Christian.
Because I have it on my phone, or they're going to put it on the screen.
Right.
And so I realized that I have it at the house next to the bed, but I don't take it into the church with me.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know the last time I took a physical Bible into
And
the
that's
church.
so that's kind of like spiritual and intellectual self-care together. Boom. Mind blown. And then we got social self-care. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already do that. Number one.
That's being friendly with people?
Being part of a community.
Okay, got you.
Going out with your girlfriends or your guy friends, hanging out, being social, basically trying to tell you not to be a hermit in the house.
Ain't nothing wrong being a hermit.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm sorry. That's my own opinion. I take that back.
Are you ready? Are you done with that?
It was a joke.
But so you definitely need to have that. Then they have sensory self-care.
Sensory self-care. Like touch, feel, sight.
Yeah. You come on, somebody. You better come on with it.
I know my 5 senses.
Yes, but nourishing those 5 senses. Mindful eating.
Go back to midweek moment.
Midweek moment. Smelling your food, right? Tasting your food. Going outside and just standing and looking at stuff. Looking at all the colors that's outside. So there's so many different ways to do that. So I'm going to go over them again. So that's because I'm not going to talk about the one that we bought into it yet. I just want to talk about those.
Okay.
So we got physical self-care. Emotional self-care. Spiritual self-care. Intellectual self-care. Social self-care. And sensory self-care. How many do you do?
Okay. So out of that, I really don't do social. I mean, it takes a lot to get me out the house.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I do intellectual self-care. I do my best to try to stimulate my mind at all times.
You do. Mm-hmm.
So I would say I do that. I'm not as good at the spiritual self-care as I should be.
Okay.
I don't read my Bible as much as I should. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I don't pray as much as I should. Okay. So I'll go with spiritual. Physical self-care, nah, dog. I don't do that either. Not like, I know, before you say it, I know I got a membership to the gym that is deducted from my account every month and that I don't go. I'm going back, man.
No, I wasn't going to say that. See, you did that.
I felt guilty.
Yeah, and we'll go more in depth into the physical part, but the Crenshaws have gained weight.
Yeah, collectively as a unit, but we'll get into that.
That made me sad as I said it.
I would say that I partially do all of them, but I'm not consistent in any of them, if that makes sense.
Okay. I want the ones that you're consistent in.
The only one that I would say I'm truly consistent in that I can sit here and not lie to the family about is the intellectual self-care.
Yeah.
That one I do.
You feed your brain all the time.
I make sure to feed my brain all the time. The rest of it, I can't say I consistently do.
Yeah. So physical self-care and partial, like you, but I don't want to count partial, so I'm just going to say no.
Right.
Partial doesn't count. Emotional self-care, meditation, and stuff like that, absolutely. I'm emotional self-care.
You do.
Spiritual self-care, yep, I got that.
I'm emotionally stunted, so no, I don't do emotionally. I don't do emotionally.
What?
I'm just saying, I'm emotionally stunted.
So you're an emotional dwarf?
Yeah, when it comes to my emotion, I'm a dwarf.
That's interesting.
I'm a Smurf when it comes to my dwarf.
Papa Smurf?
Not even Papa. I'm like greedy Smurf.
Greedy Smurf.
Yeah, I'm like greedy
Is that
Smurf.
because? Okay. Yep. Not gonna touch it.
No, greedy Smurf. Because I said greedy Smurf because he that Smurf you know about, but the Smurf you really don't see a lot. Never mind. Continue.
I don't know anything about. The only thing I know is about Papa Smurf and
Smurfette.
Smurfette.
Yeah.
And I barely knew that.
Yeah, and the fact, like a Smurf, you're 3 apples high. Tip your waiters, family.
If you hear some rumbling, it's because I knocked him out the chair, people. I don't want you to be like, okay, we're supposed to be helping people.
I'm just saying.
Self-care.
All right.
So physical self-care, not as much, so that's a no, because it's all or nothing. Emotional self-care, yes. Spiritual self-care, yes. I'm going to say intellectual self-care, just started, but I'm still going to say no, because I'm not all the way there. Social self-care, yes. I'm surprised you didn't say social self-care, because we have our e-groups, we go out to dinner, we do couples get-togethers and stuff like that. So you are part of a community. You have your own e-group.
No,
you have your own men group.
But that's why I say partial. I'm part of an e-group that I do participate in.
Yeah.
I'm part of a couple of e-groups.
Yeah.
And for those who are not part of Elevation Church.
Oh my gosh, we do this all the time too. We so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, family.
E-group for us it's a small group is what it is. So if you're Old Southern Baptist, think of kind of a Bible study.
Wednesday night Bible study.
Wednesday night Bible study. But it's a small group of other people that attend Elevation that we get together weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, and we just do life together. Whenever we refer to our e-group, we're talking about our small community that we're a part of, that we get together and do life together with. I'm part of part of the married couples with my wife.
Yes.
Part of a men's group.
Best couple ever.
Best couple ever that leads that group.
Ever.
But the reason I say I'm not as good is because most of the times you force me to go.
Force you to go where?
Anything social.
This is true.
Anything social is because
except the e-groups. I don't force you, but everything else.
Yeah, it's you're forcing me to go.
Got you.
The couple outings and stuff like that, or getting together, or go somewhere.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you kind of kick me in my back to get me out the house to go.
Okay.
So it's not anything like I initiate, but we're not going to really get into that.
Well, thank you for going. I appreciate it.
I don't want to.
So I want to go back a little bit. Do you remember Wednesday night Bible study? No. No.
Do you remember the time
babe.
when we first met? No. Okay.
No. Do you remember Wednesday night Bible studies?
I do remember Wednesday night Bible studies.
Ooh, did you go when you were younger?
I had to. I had no other choice.
Oh, that's right. Granddaddy was the pastor.
Yeah, my grandfather. For those who don't know, my grandfather was a Baptist minister. At the height of his ministry, he was preaching in 5 churches in 5 different cities.
Come on, Granddaddy.
That was long before we had these connected campuses and all that stuff. So he was.
You drove.
Oh, he was driving from one city to the other. But yeah, so I grew up in church. Wednesday night Bible studies.
Wednesday night
Ooh,
Bible
I hated them.
Did they do testimony giving out of the God?
Oh my Lord. The first 20 to 30 minutes is nothing but testimony service.
Yes.
I was depressed. I got tired of hearing about people's drunk kids and the daughter out here being promiscuous, but the Lord gonna bring her through it. I got tired of hearing.
Listen,
I was bored and depressed.
I was younger doing that, and Burning Bush Baptist Church in Brooklyn, New York,
you can't
family
get
church.
No more country than that.
That's not country. That's New York.
Burning Bush Baptist Church.
So I don't care. We did that in East New York.
Yeah, okay.
Family church. I think Pastor Frazier, and we were the Limbettes.
Oh Lord.
Me and my cousins, because we was the children's choir. We marching on the Zion, that beautiful city of God.
What does this have to do with self-care?
Because I was thinking about the spiritual part. I'm sorry. It's just hysterical. And then you said, the small group was Wednesday Bible study. And it just took me back. I'm sorry, you guys.
I
I'm
apologize.
back. Okay, I'm back. I'm serious.
I don't really know if you guys are going to get anything for this particular
first
episode.
of all, I am pretty sure that there's someone
anything
back there singing soon and very soon we are going to see the King.
Soon and very soon.
We are going to see the King. Oh, soon and very soon. Come on now.
We are
Come on.
Oh, my favorite.
Oh, what?
You know my favorite song.
Oh, my gosh. What was it?
We are climbing Jacob's ladder.
Sing, boy.
We are climbing Jacob's ladder.
You better sing.
You
not. No.
Climbing.
Your granddaddy will come bust you in the head right there.
Jacob's
That was the Ray McQuire.
ladder.
Was it the Ray McQuire?
'Cause I'm a soldier on the cross.
You better go ahead. Come on, clap for him, y'all.
Anyway,
come on. Okay.
Back to self-care.
Okay, my God. But that is self-care. Those old songs make your heart feel good.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Matter of fact, email us, Facebook. It's what songs do you want us to sing?
Nah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be out here singing
what
nobody's
gospel songs?
No.
What songs do you need to hear? Amen.
Strike that request.
Amen.
Family. Don't
Amen.
do that.
Amen.
Family, don't do
okay,
that
so
one.
look.
So once again, okay,
I'm gonna try this one more time.
Let's reel this back in.
Physical care, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Emotional care, I say yes. Spiritual self-care, I said yes. Intellectual, I said no. Social, I said yes. Sensory, I said no. Because some of them are partial, but I don't do it all the time, so I have to say no to it.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
So with that being said, family, because I don't know how we got so far detoured.
Ooh.
Now, so let's once again overall self-care.
Yeah.
So we've given you kind of the parameters of the 6 focal points of self-care. Now, so here's my question to you: why is self-care so important?
It's because it's for wholeness. We talked about your definition that you like to read. It's for wholeness. It's for a balance. It's for your health. It's for your heart. Because everything there is for your heart, mind, body, and spirit. Now, I do want to say one thing. Self-care is something that you enjoy doing, not an obligation. Now, understand that.
Say that again for the
self-care is something that you
Say
enjoy
that for the
doing. For the people in the back. People in the back. Self-care is something that you enjoy and not an obligation. Right? Because I think when you start doing stuff, it's an obligation. You won't give it everything you have. You go in kind of tense when things are obligation. You feel almost stressed when things are obligation. But when you do it because you enjoy it, that means that each one of those things, find one thing out of those 6 things that you enjoy, in those sessions of self-care.
Here's the one thing that I picked up on out of the definition I read, the word that I loved, where it said deliberately.
Yeah.
That means you have to purposely plan to do it.
Yeah.
You have to truly, because when you do something deliberately, that means you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You set out to do this thing.
And enjoying it, not making it an obligation. And I think making it, because it'll turn into a habit, right? I would love to see us come back sometime and where we are doing all 7.
Right.
So I'm challenging even us now that we're saying it out here to the family that we will, the ones that we're not doing, that we will start doing and make a full effort, deliberately making an effort.
Okay.
Effort to do it. So what do you think about that?
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
I have no problem with that. I think the family will keep us honest. So I have no problem with that. But we're going to, since we became serious, so let's stay serious just for a moment.
Oh, wow. That's scary.
The one thing that I know about my wife is that any topic that you find fascinating or any topic that you're interested in, you do a lot of research on.
I do.
You do a lot of reading, a lot of source material.
Yeah.
You reference multiple sources. You don't take the first thing you find. You pick at that and you pull back layers.
Yeah.
So my question is this. So in your research, what have you found are some of the reasons that a person does not do self-care?
Well, like us, it's not that they do not do self-care. They just do one maybe more than the other. Like they may feel like their physique, as long as their physical body looks good, the intellectual part doesn't matter, right? Or as long as I'm intelligent, I don't have to have a physical body. So it's not that they don't want to do anything from my research. It's just that that collectively they don't want to do them all. Gotcha. And that's wholeness and a balance. Or one takes over the other. Like we were just talking about which ones that we really, really do, right? And people feel like they're doing stuff out of obligation. Like, okay, I got to go work. I got to go do yoga because I'm getting old. I got to do this. I got to do that. Yoga. Back to yoga again. But it is basically from what they're saying and from all of my research, it's good for your brain to do intellectual, to read, to look. I don't want to get into because there's so much to intellectual that I love, so I won't. But it's good for your brain. The physical part is good for your physical body. Your spiritual is good for your soul. You see what I'm saying? So it's a balance because it's good for your soul, and then you got your social. It's good for your heart. To be around your friends and be around people who care about you and love you, that's good for your heart. You see what I'm saying? So it's good for you holistically, your whole body. You don't just want part of your body to function. You want them to all function in harmony.
Here's what I've noticed.
Yes.
And definitely correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm out of line of what I'm about to say.
All right.
Of course, I can't speak from the aspect of a woman.
Right.
I've never been a woman.
Right.
So I can't really speak.
You cannot.
Really speak to that.
But you have a wife and a daughter.
I do. I have a wife and a daughter. A lot of nieces.
And a whole bunch of nieces.
A whole lot of nieces that I love.
And crazy sisters.
Some crazy sisters. All of them that I adore.
And scared of.
One of them that I'm very scared of. Mm-hmm. Sister, you know who you are. But here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you feel...
And crazy mamas.
Oh, crazy mamas too.
Yes. But go ahead.
Do you feel that it's hard for a mother, a wife and or / mother, to do self-care? And if you do think it is, why?
I don't think that it is hard. I think that it's just not planned, like you said, and it's not thought about. So I don't think that it's hard because
it's not deliberate.
No, it's not deliberate. Anything that you want to do, you can do. I don't care what you say. It could be just 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, but what happens is the schedule gets so busy and so much is going on, and it's not just. And I'll take not even just moms and wives, but the world. We're so busy. To sit down and be still is unheard of. Even for you just told and check out midweek that you can't even sit down and be still.
I really can't.
You know?
Not for a long
so
period
it's
of time.
hard for the world to just, we always want to keep it going, keep it moving, keep it going. And that's how sooner or later something's going to give out, whether it be your body or your mind or your spirit, you know? So the goal is to try to do all of them, but just pieces. You don't have to do a lot. And I think when people hear self-care, it's like, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time. You make time for yourself. And that's another self-care, making time for yourself.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
Because that actually leads me to my next question. So I want you to talk to someone who would come to you and say, well, I can't do self-care, or, you know, I'm not able to do self-care because I feel selfish doing that. So they say, you know, well, I can't do the physical, or I can't do the emotional, I can't do, because I feel like doing that is selfish. I'm being a little conceited if I do that because it's all about me.
Right.
So speak to that person.
You know what? Everybody feels that way, but it's okay. You do have to be a little bit selfish. Because how is it possible that you can take care of everybody and not yourself? Because if I think self-care is love. I don't think self-care is selfish. I think self-care is love. I think you taking care of yourself and being whole will allow you to even have more energy to give to your family and your friends, more energy to help your children. It's the air that you breathe. Does that make sense? And I think we always say we don't have time, or we don't have this and that, or I feel bad about it, because they think of it in such a small space. Like I said, I don't have time to take a bath. I don't have time to wash my hair. I don't have, that's what they're thinking, but it's so much different. I got some tips.
You got tips?
I got tips, right?
I like tips.
That you can use that I consider self-care, right? And I think just to start you off really, really slow, it does not have to be so huge. One of the things is get up early and just be still. I need you to get up. I'm just asking for 5 or 10 minutes before your whole house get up and just be still. That's self-care. That right there alone is sometimes all a person who's always busy. To get up 5 or 10 minutes early, just sit up in a chair and just breathe and relax before the busyness of it all starts. And you can pray or meditate or journal or whatever you have to do for those 5 or 10 minutes. And then if you need to, it'll grow to 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
that's a tip, right? The next tip is when you wake up for the first hour and a half, do not touch your phone. Do not read your emails. I know people are clutching their pearls. Do not read.
You just scared some people right there.
Do not read the news. Do not read social media. Do not read your emails. Do not read anything. Do not touch your phone, because what happens is once you do that, your mind is all over the place. By the time you done read the news, you were up happy, then you got depressed, then somebody done made you angry on social media, then somebody made you feel like you ain't really living your best life on Facebook because they just came from a trip from Africa. So now you feeling some type of way about that. Then you don't think you the best mother because you got a mother who got 5 kids and they dress real pretty and they going on to Disney. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first hour and a half, give yourself permission to just be.
I have to admit that's one of my issues because with my job, of course, my wife knows I have a work phone.
Yeah.
That phone goes with me everywhere I go. And that's the first thing I grab when I wake up in the morning. It's that job phone.
And you know what happens? You be so irritated.
Aggravated all day.
All day. Because that's how you started your morning. You don't have to start your morning out like that. We don't have to do that. You don't have to look at your job phone, but it's been innate in you now to do it. It's what you're used to doing. It's a habit. It's become a habit. What if we reverse the habit and go, you know what? For an hour and a half, because you're up 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, who are you talking to? Who cares? Whatever, if it hasn't been taken care of, it'll get taken care of later when you get to work. So that whole, because all that you put in, like, it's like you have just given yourself anxiety, to be honest. You're
right.
Not just you, but everybody. You're anxious, aggravated, frustrated. Now you lonely because somebody up there on Instagram looking like they in love. You know, all these kind of things. And you going through all these emotional situations that you put yourself through, right? So why not just for an hour and a half? That's a tip. And right there alone, if you think about it, the getting up early and being still, that right there alone is more like a spiritual self-care.
Right.
An hour and a half with no phone right there is an emotional self-care. You see the tips? You see how that works?
I said it works.
Because you're thinking about that. Or,
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. I did it. Or you can walk slower. Slow down. I got quiet because you got quiet. Because you don't know how to do that.
I don't, because I spend, and the crazy part, I realized that about myself.
Right.
That I truly spend my entire day in a rush.
Yes.
I'm
you in the book bag.
Yeah, I'm in my book bag. I spend the entire
you in your book
day
bag.
on a rush. When I'm up in the morning, I'm rushing, because I'm rushing through my phone to find out what's going on. I'm rushing to get ready for work. I'm rushing to work. When I get to work, I'm rushing when I get there because I'm rushing out of one meeting into another meeting. This problem, that problem, this problem, that problem. I'm rushing to get these things taken care of. I'm rushing my day because I'm ready for my day to be over. But then I'm rushing home. But then when I get home, I'm rushing through my night. Yeah, I spend my entire day
to only start that whole cycle again.
Yeah. And the crazy part, like even the very rare days where we don't have anything to do.
Right.
I'm still rushing through that day. My body still feel rushed.
Yeah.
Because I've rushed all week. And so now, even when I don't have anything to do, my body already has that adrenaline, already has that constant energy.
Yeah.
That I always feel like I should be doing something. I should be going somewhere. I should be moving. Because I've spent my entire week in this constant rush.
Exactly. And then you miss everything. That's why I cannot wait to talk to you guys about body scans. I can't talk about it now, but oh my goodness, that exact thing that you're talking about, amazing. And that's exactly, you'll see, but we're not going to talk about it. So here's another one. Gratitude journal.
Explain.
Gratitude journal is before you go to bed, write down what you're grateful for that day.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes we go to bed anxious.
A lot of the time.
A lot of times we throw ourselves in the bed because we're like, I'm over this day. Please, Lord, let me just go to bed. And we take all of that anxiousness. I don't care how many times we take a shower. Because most people go home, take a shower, relax. It doesn't make a difference. You still taking all that anxiousness and all that happened in the day to bed with you. Like, so legitimately, there's 50 people in the bed with me and you sometime when you get to work with your work phone and everything else that you got going on. So...
Because I've taken a physical shower, but I haven't taken an emotional or spiritual shower.
Hey, come on, somebody. You see where we going with the self-care. You
see
see why it's good to do that? Because now you begin to balance out your life. Because you ask me, what's the purpose? What's the that's what it's about, right? And so you write a journal, being grateful for what happened today. So that calms you down. That makes you begin to think of all the good things, because a lot of times we just get into bed and think about all the bad stuff. How you doing, babe? It was a long day. This chick got on my nerves and blah, 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 blah. But a gratitude journal is forcing you to say, but what was good in that day?
Right.
And you could rest well. when you think about that. So that's one thing. We already talked about eat and chew slower, which is good. That's a sensory, tasting good food, tasting the flavors, stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure you'll get into that more as well.
Learning something new. This is huge for me that I want to do. I've been saying it for like about all my life. I want to learn a new language. If you ever want to have your brain at the peak, learn a new language.
Yeah.
Learn a new language. So that's another thing to do, and that's intellectual. And then read physical books. We talked about it again. Get a book and just read it.
Get a book, people.
Touch the book, people.
Buy a real book, people.
Buy a real book, people. So that's just some tips that you can do. Now, now that you know what it is, what tip would you give? If you could give a tip for men, your species, crack me up saying that. But if you could give men a tip of self-care, what would it be?
You silly. Actually, it would be what I just said for myself. Mm-hmm. Slow down.
Slow down.
As men, we spend so much time in a rush because it's innate in us, that hunter mentality. Mm-hmm. We're always on a hunt for something.
Right.
We're on a hunt for the promotion. We're on a hunt for more money. We're on a hunt for a better house. We're on a hunt for the right spouse. Mm-hmm. We're on a hunt for the right car. We're on a hunt for the better body. We're on a hunt. We're always on a hunt for something.
Right.
So we're always in that hunter's mentality.
Got you.
So we're always that energy. Mm-hmm. And we don't ever just slow down.
Got you.
And it's not, and I think sometimes we equate slowness with being lazy, and it's not the same thing.
Come on
being
now.
lazy
Speak.
and slowing down is two different things.
Come on now.
You can be very productive in a slower manner. Mm-hmm. And it's, for me, that would be the self-care tip for men, is just to slow down.
Wow.
We don't pay attention enough. We don't pay attention to what's going on around us. One of the things my son has taught me, and family, to let you behind the curtain just a little bit.
You got so many sons. Which one is
we have four. We have four kids.
Mm-hmm. 3 boys.
Three boys and
three
a girl.
men. Excuse me.
3 men. 3 grown men.
And a young lady.
And a grown young lady.
Yes.
And it's my youngest son. What he's taught me is if I pay attention to him more than he think I do. Mm-hmm. And because he's the type of person, he pays attention to the environment around him. Mm-hmm. Now, I do too, but I do for more security reason.
Right.
I'm looking to see who I got to put my hands on.
2 things that you do. Look who you got to put your hands on, and how can you exit quickly.
Exactly.
It's hysterical that
I always
you do
know
that.
The exits.
Yeah, you always know the
every
exit. He always know the exit, guys. Seriously.
And I always know if I got to put my hands on somebody.
Yeah.
But my son pays attention to the vibe.
Yeah,
he pays attention to the atmosphere. He pays attention to, I was, crazy part, I was watching a new Superman movie right before you got home.
Okay.
It's Superman Red Sun. It's a new animated movie.
Oh.
It's a concept of, because of course everybody knows the story of Superman, where he fell to Earth in Kansas, U.S. This story is, what if he didn't land in Kansas, but he landed in the Soviet Union during the time of the Cold War?
Oh, okay.
So Superman grew up being the Russian Superman.
Okay.
But the reason I say that is because there's a line in that movie where a young man looked at Superman and said, they say that you can hear a leaf hit the ground at 1,000 miles away. Because that's how his senses are. Right. And that's my son.
Yeah.
He pays attention to so much of the environment, of the atmosphere around him, that he is so in tuned that he can hear a leaf drop. Yeah. Because, and we tell this story all the time as a joke, but it's actually it's amazing. My wife and my daughter were driving one day and coming in our neighborhood, and they happened to look to their left, I believe it was, and in the middle of an open field was this person sitting there meditating. And it was our son.
As cars are going by on the road.
Yeah, and he's just sitting
left
there.
And going to and fro. He was not moved by it. He was just sitting there. And we were like, please, is that your brother? She's like, oh, my God, that's my brother. Yeah. That's him.
And because he is so in tune with the atmosphere, with the environment, for lack of a better term, with the universe around him. Yeah. And more people should be like that, especially men. Yeah. Because we're so caught up in conquering sometimes that we lose all perspective of really what's important. So that would be my thing. I would say to men, just kind of slow down. But also, I did have another question for you. Yeah.
Because we got to do number 7 that we added. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I did, and something I should have asked a little earlier in this conversation. But at what point did you realize the importance of self-care? And when did self-care become so important to you?
When I started having anxiety attacks. We talked about that before. I remember I used to have anxiety. Well, I don't know. They don't remember. But
Right.
I used to have anxiety attacks. And that told me that I wasn't balanced. There was something out of sorts in me, mentally, physically, and spiritually, because I was having anxiety attacks on a regular basis. I was always anxious. Which the anxiety attacks gave me headaches, and the headaches made me have heart palpitations because I stayed in the hospital all the time, thinking I was having heart attacks.
Yeah, you
and
did.
at that point, that had me losing weight. Well, I need that now, but anyway, had me losing weight. So all of those that affected everything, and I was trying to figure out how do I find out what's going on with me, and that's when I realized that. And not just one thing was out of sorts, because I tried to blame it, the family, the kids, the job. I don't like the job. It wasn't one thing was out of sorts. I was out of sorts, mind, body, and spirit. And that's when I started going, what is it that I need to do? How can I change some things? And I'm not perfect at it, but I know I'm so in tune to it now, like the ones that I know that I do. And when I read over this again, I was like, so that's why that's happening to you now, because you're not doing that part of you, which is good for you. And one thing, JJ Smith, I love her, when they ask her about like certain drinks or nasty drinks, or like how you drink the vinegar and blah blah blah, and she always says, oh, how do you drink bone broth? And she said, easy, I drink it because it tastes like results. And so to me, when I do these things for myself, it feels like results. I haven't had an anxiety attack since I started meditating, and since you know what I'm saying?
It's been years.
And I was having anxiety attacks back to back. I'm at the hospital, heart monitor, thinking I'm having a heart attack.
For a while, you doing a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And so that's where I knew, like, hey, something, not just one thing, but everything is out of sorts. And what does that look like, and what do I need to do about it?
When you first start looking into for lack of a better term, bettering yourself or finding your balance, because all things should be balanced, as Steno said,
as much as we can.
Yeah. Did you have the label of self-care then? Did you know it's I'm looking for self-care? So
I was looking for results.
Okay.
I didn't. You know how you looking for, and then one day you be like, oh, it has a name. Oh, it has a title. Oh. You know, that's how that happened. It was not like, girl, I'm out here looking for self-care. I just knew I wanted results. I knew I wanted to feel better. I knew that I couldn't continue to live this way and feel this way. It wasn't natural. It wasn't normal. And something like that that's not natural and normal, you wasn't born to feel that way.
Right.
You know, anxious all the time, crying for no reason, being crazy all the time. And then as I got older and that was happening, and we'll talk about that later on the line, then I realized I had to go do it again. Because it's seasons of your life. And I'm like, okay, something's out of whack again. And I had to go do it again, you know? So always checking yourself, you know?
Another question.
Yeah.
So with that being said.
Okay.
Because, and for those who have not had the pleasure of actually meeting you and knowing you, let me explain kind of who you are. And then I'll lead into my question.
Me?
Just a little bit.
Okay, go ahead, explain me.
Phenomenal mother.
Thank you.
Phenomenal wife.
Thank you.
Very involved in your kids' lives. As a consultant, as a parent.
Finally, we're consultants. Come on, somebody.
Very involved with your husband's life.
Thank you, God.
Very involved with the people that you hold dear because they come to you looking for advice.
Right.
At the end of the day, you are a giver, and
I am.
you have a huge heart. You are a giver. So my question is, because of how you're built,
right?
Because you always look for the other person first.
Yeah.
You're looking at how can you serve someone? How can you better help someone? When you first started doing self-care, did you ever feel guilty?
No, because at that point, I was in the hospital all the time. I ain't time to think about y'all. I love y'all. But it was a state of emergency for me. It was like break glass, get the axe, tear the door down. Because I was scared. You know, and you stay sick, you stay tired, so I loved y'all with all my heart and soul, but no. Because again, this was life and death for me. And I knew if I didn't get right, you guys would suffer. I just want you guys to have the best of me. And I'm still growing in that area as well for you to have the best of me. the best of who I am as I grow into every season that I grow into. So no, I didn't. I didn't feel. Would you feel guilty?
Honestly, I think I would.
Really?
I
When have
do.
you ever felt? Has any self care you ever done? You know what? I know when. When you used to go to the gym every day after work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I should, because I did go to the gym. I haven't been in a while. Had a back issue. Had some health issues. Got me off track. Haven't really got back on track with that. But when I was, it's to be crazy. Anytime I do anything just for me, that has nothing to do with anybody else, has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with the family.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
always feel guilty. I always feel guilty.
Why?
If I do anything that's not directly related to the family.
Why?
Because I always feel like I'm taking away from the family. So like if I buy something for myself, or if I want to do something that just I want to do, or if like you always tell me all the time, go do something with yourself. Go get a friend.
Or go be with the ones you got.
Yeah, go be with the ones you got.
God.
Because I got some good men surrounding me.
Yes. Ugh.
Got some really good
They
men
my
surrounding
favorite people, man. Seriously.
But you always telling me go do something. But like if I do, or like if I buy something for myself, or spend money on myself, or do something like that, I feel guilty, like I'm taking away from the family. Like I could have spent that time doing something for you guys. So I think that may be part of it too. Why I really don't fully do self-care for myself like I should. I haven't figured out a way to do it where I'm not feeling like I'm taking away from you.
Well, this is the season because we about to break that mold.
It's just the season.
It's the season. We about to break it.
You want to go ahead and talk about the 7?
Yes. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, ooh, I didn't see that. Doesn't mean it wasn't out there, but it didn't run across everything I was researching, right? And one of the things that I said I want to bring is security self-care.
Explain.
Getting your finances in order.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Getting your finances in order. Do you have a will? Do you have life insurance? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a vision for you and your family and for you? Decluttering your house, decluttering your area. Do you have a health proxy? All those things is going to, because one thing that I know for sure is people want to feel secure. And so I think that that's part of self-care. And I think the reason why that's part of self-care for me, security self-care, is because you be less anxious. Because emergency funds is a beautiful thing, because we've had cars break down and everything break down and be like, oh, no big deal. Got the money for that.
One thing Dave Ramsey says.
I love Dave Ramsey when he said it.
Is that when you have an emergency fund,
nothing's an emergency.
You have less emergencies.
Come on now. Come on. And that's the truth.
Because it really is only an emergency when you don't have the funds.
When you don't have the funds. Let me tell you something. Story, guys, real quick. So we taught our daughter that. We're like, hey, emergency fund, you better have it. You better show us, because we audit her account. Say what you want. I don't care. She's 22. We want her to be financially ground and sound. So her car broke down, remember?
Yes.
And she called us and she was like, my car broke down and blah, blah, blah. We like, okay. So in our mind, we going, oh, Lord.
How much is this going to cost me?
How much is going to cost? And after she said that, she said, oh, I got it fixed. I used my emergency money. And I said, how do you feel about it? She's like, you guys are so right, because she wasn't scared. She wasn't like, how am I pay my rent? How am I pay this? She just went to her account, paid the money, paid it outright, and was like, I'm going to be less that, but I can build it back up. That's what I'm talking about. That's security.
You know what, though? But
that's
actually,
security self-care. Right? Well, security self-care for us in our pocket.
And actually listening to you talk about that, and we'll get into it, of course, as we go throughout the series. But I personally think that's the most important one. Is that 7th and final one, that security self-care.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how much you take care of your body. I don't care how much you take care of your mind. I don't care how much you take care of your emotions. I don't care how much you take care of yourself intellectually. I don't care how much you spiritually, any of that. If your foundation is rocky, you're never going to be right. Because if all this, you have the 6-pack, you have the abs, you're up every morning, you're meditating, you're doing Pilates and yoga, but in the back of your mind, you worried about the energy company cutting off your lights because you can't pay that bill. You're never going to be balanced.
Yeah, it's important.
So I like that one.
It's huge. We have, like I said, we have 3 sons. So the middle son will hold on to $1
Oh yeah, that boy tight with money.
forever.
Oh, that boy tight with money.
And will have you thinking he ain't got not a quarter, a nickel, or a dime. The oldest one, he's the biggest saver. Now, he's taught us a lot about finances.
Yeah.
You know, he was into Bitcoins before Bitcoins. People even knew about Bitcoins. He's always looking into money and stuff like that. You know, he's always thinking about investing in entrepreneurship and blah, 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 all those things because he's always thinking the next level, you know? So it's pretty cool. So we're you know, we're doing pretty good with the kids, trying to get them grounded. What you think?
Yeah, I think the beautiful thing about us and our kids is that it's always a two-way conversation. As much as we teach them, they teach us. And I think that's the part that a lot of parents don't like to talk about.
They do.
Is that you can learn from your kids.
You can learn from your kids.
If you open up your mind, you can learn from your kids. And we've learned a lot from our 4 kids. Ooh. And I'm okay to admit that.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So last thing I'm going to tell you guys, I was thinking about this. One of the biggest things that I want you guys to do, because it's one of my most favorite things to do, if you're not doing it already, for a tip, is this week I want you guys to go get a coloring book and some crayons and color. It's soothing. And I don't want you to go get the adult coloring book because it's so sophisticated. I want you to go get the dollar store. It was for your 3rd grader coloring book and color. And when you color, here's the thing. I only want you to color with 2 crayons. You cannot, once you pick the 2 crayons, do not cheat. Once you pick the 2 crayons, that's all you can use. You can't go back into the box. And whatever picture you choose, I want you to color with those 2 crayons only. If the crayon break, if the crayon is not compatible, it does not matter. You have to color with those 2 crayons. And what you will realize when you do that is it doesn't take all that. It doesn't take all of that to relax. It doesn't take $1,000 to relax. It doesn't take anything. It just takes the time and the space to do it. That's it.
I like that.
You like it?
I like that. Well, family, once again, so this is just the beginning of a 7-part series. Once again, we're going to be talking about self-care. We've listed out these 7 focal points of self-care.
Let's see if you remember. Say it before we go. Let's see what you got. Go ahead. Number 1.
So number 1 was physical self-care.
Come on now.
Number 2 was emotional self-care.
Yes.
Number 3 was spiritual self-care. Mm-hmm. Number 4 was intellectual self-care. Mm-hmm. Number 5 was...
the one you don't like the most.
Which one I don't like the most?
Social
self-care. Number 6 was... What is number 6? Sensory self-care. And then the last one is security self-care. Okay.
Security.
And family, we're going to go deeper into each one.
Yeah.
On the
so
next
what you want to do first? What's the first one you want to do on Wednesday? Pick one.
Actually, to be honest, I don't want to do self-care on the midweek moments.
Okay, cool.
Only because those are shorter.
Okay, and we need to indulge.
And we need to be able to indulge.
I said indulge. I mean, go deeper.
I like
Why you said it after me?
I like indulge.
Yes.
So we need to be able to dive deeper into
That's what I was trying to say, dive deeper.
So we're going to do this one only on the Friday podcast.
On the Fridays.
Because they're longer
I can do that.
And we're going to start with, we're just going to go in order. So we're going to start with physical self-care.
Okay, so let's do it.
And that'll be the next one we talk about.
Oh, my God.
So family, as always, we are an interactive podcast. So many ways to contact us. We are on Instagram at Crenshaw Corner. Mm-hmm. We're on Facebook, Crenshaw Corner.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter, Crenshaw Corner.
We
tweet us. Tweet at us.
Tweet.
And then, of course, we have our email address, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, the email address is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Family, we thank you for joining us. We thank you for being a part of this ride with us. And family, welcome to our journey.
Thank you, guys. We love you. Bye.